Everyone who's seen someone arrested on a cop show has heard the line, "You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you." Did you know that the same is true in CPS cases? If CPS is interfering with parents' rights, then indigent parents must be appointed an attorney if they want one, thanks to Texas law. If you've been contacted by CPS, then you should have already contacted an attorney. Remember when we talked about fighting CPS interrogations? Unfortunately, you do not have a right to a court-appointed attorney until CPS begins legal proceedings. You'll probably find out about these proceedings when a deputy or process server shows up at your door and hands you some legal documents, aka when you've been served. Do not wait until your court date. You need to act immediately in order to get an attorney before your first court date, since that is likely one of the most important. However, if you appear at the adversary hearing without an attorney, the court is required to inform you of your right to have an attorney. Then, if you prove that you are indigent, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you. If you're appointed an attorney, the court may delay the hearing for up to 7 days in order to allow your newly appointed attorney time to prepare your defense. In layman's terms, being indigent means that a person can't afford to hire an attorney, and the court requires more than just saying that you'd rather spend your money on other things. Legally speaking, the test for indigence is when the evidence shows that you'd be unable to pay costs if you really wanted to, and that you made a good faith effort to do so. You have the burden of proving that you'd be unable to pay and that you made a good faith effort to do so. You need to prepare an affidavit of indigence for the court. Most courts have their own application that merely requires you to fill in the blanks. This application will ask about your monthly income, your monthly expenses, the amounts in your bank accounts, and about assets you own. If you are on government assistance, this may be used to show that you are indigent. If you have assets that can be sold, money in the bank, or if your income exceeds your expenses, then the court is likely to find that you can afford to hire an attorney on your own. Next, you must show that you've made a reasonable attempt to get a loan or borrow the funds to hire an attorney. Be prepared to name the banks, friends, or family members that you have asked and how much that you're able to borrow, if any. Also, you must show that you've made a reasonable attempt to hire an attorney on your own. Some attorneys will accept payment plans, or you may qualify at your local legal aid. Be prepared to list the attorneys that you spoke to, their phone numbers, and the reasons you couldn't hire them. For example, if they ask for a $3,000 retainer that you couldn't afford, or if the attorney wouldn't agree to a payment plan. In case you haven't caught on by now, the court is going to require specific information, so make sure that you have a pen and paper ready when you start making phone calls. Previously, parents were only entitled to an attorney if CPS was attempting to terminate parental rights or seeking to take conservatorship custody of the child. You see, the U.S. Supreme Court has upheld that parents have a constitutional right to raise their children, and when the government, CPS, tries to interfere with that right, citizens have certain protections. House Bill 567 altered many sections of the Family Code pertaining to CPS cases, and now requires appointment of an attorney for the parent even when the government, CPS, is requesting the parent to participate in services. Basically, if CPS is attempting to require you or your child to participate in counseling, parenting classes, drug classes, etc., then your constitutional rights are being infringed upon, and you have a right to legal assistance. This may surprise you, but in most counties, the attorneys that are on the CPS appointment list are on there voluntarily and aren't part of some sort of public defender's office. In my county, for example, the attorneys on the appointment list are private attorneys who have their own law practices and accept a deeply discounted fee from the county on CPS cases as a way of giving back to the public. These attorneys aren't your bottom of the barrel, can't get other work, do CPS cases or starve type of attorneys. They actually give CPS a run for their money. However, you have no obligation to have an attorney at all. You have the constitutional right to represent yourself pro se if you so choose. If you choose not to be represented by an attorney though, do not expect the court to provide any leniency when it comes to the Texas Rules of Evidence, Texas Rules of Civil Procedure, or the Texas Rules of Appellate Procedure. You're expected to know these just like any attorney. A court-appointed attorney in a CPS case can provide you with invaluable assistance. However, having an attorney doesn't mean they're going to do everything for you. Your attorney is probably going to give you some homework assignments and instruct you to gather certain documents for him or her to give you the greater chance of success in court. The Texas Family Code even sets out specific duties for appointed attorneys in CPS cases. The law says that the attorney must interview the parties to the suit, the parents, and other persons who have a significant knowledge of the case. The attorney must also investigate the facts of the case, meet with the parent before each hearing, take any action consistent with the parent's objectives, abide by the parent's objectives for representation, conduct formal discovery when necessary, and receive annual specialized legal education for representing parents in CPS cases. If you believe that parents' rights should be protected, click the like button. If you know a worried parent who is fighting CPS, share this video with them. Check out some of these other videos that we've published, and don't forget that we publish new videos every other Thursday at noon. From all of us here at Matthew Harris Law, we appreciate you watching.